Hi, thank you for joining me today in class. We're going to be working into a juicy flow, focusing a little bit more on the hips, but really having experiencing the full body in today's class. So if you feel that you usually like to use a block, or two blocks, or a strap, or something that is usually part of your practice, you're more than welcome to grab that now. I will be cueing for the use of props, but I myself won't be using any of them today. So whenever you're ready, we're going to begin at the back of the mat in a wide-legged child's pose. So bringing the big toes to touch, opening the knees as wide as the mat, and then walking the hands forward, settling the forehead down onto the floor. Observing the sensations of your body today. Allowing yourself a few moments at the beginning of practice to just settle into your own body, settle into your breath. Inhaling deeply through the nose, relaxing the arms, relaxing the shoulders, allowing the chest to hang heavy. Pulling the sitting bones down towards the heels, feeling the elongation of the spine, maybe even pressing your hands a little bit into the mat in order to push yourself slightly back. Relax the tension in the neck. Inhaling through the nose. Directing the breath into the back of the heart, into the belly, and exhaling through the mouth. Inhaling through the nose, breathing deeply into the belly, feeling the ribs separating, allowing the back of the heart to grow, and exhaling through the mouth. Slowly and with control, working on equalizing the inhalations with the exhalations. One more collective inhalation here through the nose. Elongating the spine, pressing the hands into the floor, helping the sitting bones make their way down towards the heels. And then exhaling through the mouth. With the next inhalation, gently raise the head, gaze forward towards your fingertips. Come up onto the fingertips, tent the hands. Begin to work the elbows off of the floor, pressing the third eye back down onto the floor here, relaxing the shoulders, pulling them away from the ears, creating small circular motions here. As you walk the fingertips forward, allow the shoulders to creep up towards your ears. Walk the fingertips back. Elongate the neck. Keep pressing the third eye into the floor. Keep pressing the sitting bones down towards the heels. Feel the expansion in the hips. A few more breaths here like this. Walking the fingertips forward and back, keeping the elbows elevated. If there's any tension in the shoulders, you can open the hands up a little bit, bringing them to mat's width distance. Connecting the movements with your breath. Maybe starting to incorporate the Ujjayi breath, inhaling in and out through the nose here. Constricting the back of the throat, creating that oceanic sound. One more deep inhalation through the nose. And exhale, slowly bring the palms back down onto the floor. Raise the head, gaze forward, round through the spine. Bring the chin in towards the chest, bringing yourself up into a wide-legged tabletop with cow spine. So pull the tailbone slightly down, pull the navel in towards the spine, keep the chin tucked in, keep pressing yourself firmly away from the floor. Begin to pull the tailbone up, arching through the spine. Begin to press the sitting bones down towards the heels. Gaze is the last to come forward, working the chin down towards the floor. Working with your breath here, bring the chin in towards the chest, slightly move forward, rounding through the spine, tucking the tailbone down, really opening the back of the heart, pressing the hands firmly into the floor. Exhale, untucking the tailbone. Begin to press the sitting bones down towards the heels. Press the chest down towards the floor. Chin rests on the mat, gazing forward. Inhaling, shifting the weight forward, rounding through the spine, tailbone down. Exhale. Gaze is the last to come up. Chin down towards the floor. One more like this. Inhale, shifting the weight forward, coming into that wide knee tabletop. Big toes are still touching. Press your hands firmly into the floor, opening the back of the heart. Exhaling, dropping the sitting bones down towards the heels, chest down towards the floor, chin onto the mat, gaze forward. Shifting the weight forward, coming into that cat tabletop position. This time, bring your knees under your hips. Drop the belly, gaze forward. Inhale, rounding through the spine, chin towards chest. Exhale, dropping the belly, gazing forward. Inhale, working from the tailbone. The chin is the last to come in towards the chest. As you exhale, start from the tailbone, drop the belly, gaze is the last to go forward. Inhaling, rounding through the spine. Exhaling, dropping the belly, gazing forward. Inhale, rounding through the spine, chin in towards the chest. Exhale, gazing forward. One more like this. Inhale, chin towards chest. Pull the tailbone down. Exhale, untuck the tailbone, drop the belly, gaze forward. Tuck the toes with control. Bring yourself into your first downward facing dog of today's practice. Working towards settling into your pose here, whatever that may mean to you. Maybe you want to pedal out the feet a little bit. Bend into each knee. Sway the hips a little bit from side to side. Making sure that whichever path you're choosing today, in movement or stillness, you allow your breath to guide you. Inhale through the nose. And exhale. With the next inhalation, finding stillness in this pose. Maybe that means knees are slightly bent, tailbone is pointing up, heels elevated off of the floor, pressing yourself towards the back of the mat with your hands. Maybe that means working towards straight legs, pressing the heels into the floor, still pulling that tailbone up. Keep pressing yourself away from the front of the mat towards the back. Pull the navel in towards your spine. Spine is long. No tension in the neck, shoulders away from the ears. If you find yourself comfortable with the heels on the floor, then maybe you fly all 10 toes off of the floor. Get really active in your quadriceps here. Inhaling through the nose. And exhaling. With the next inhalation, press the left foot firmly into the floor, raise the right leg up, coming into a three-legged dog. Bend into the right knee. Begin to invite movement here. Again, working with your own breath. Maybe creating huge circles here from the right hip. Making sure the shoulders remain squared, really focusing just on the muscles surrounding the glutes, the hips, the knee, the lower half of the body. This can mean inviting movements in your ankle as well. And then starting to move in these circular rotations in the opposite direction. Inhale, extend the right leg up and overhead. Exhale, bend into the right knee, shift high up onto the left toe, swivel the right knee in towards the right tricep. Move yourself slightly forward, shoulders over wrists. Stay here for the inhalation. As you exhale with control, drop the right foot on the outside of the right hand. Twist your body over so that you're facing the right side with your butt, with your glutes, extending the left leg coming into Skandasana. Extend the right arm towards the right, left arm up, and overhead gaze towards your left fingertips. Deep inhalation here through the nose, gaze towards your left fingertips, extending through that left leg, quadriceps active, flex through the left toes. Exhale, hands together at heart center, begin to straighten through the right leg. Coming into starfish pose, extend the arms away from one another, five-pointed star rather, extending the arms away from one another, pulling the tailbone down, active in the legs. Inhale deeply. Exhale, bring the hands to your waist, bending in both knees, coming into goddess. Spine is long, pull the belly in, pull the tailbone down, shoulders stacked over hips. Inhale deeply. Exhale, begin to straighten through both legs. Pivot the right foot so that it's coming towards the back of the mat, opening the left foot towards the back. Bring right hand to the inside of your left foot. Fly the right heel up. Inhale, brings the left arm overhead. So we're facing the back of the mat. Straighten both legs high up on the right toes. Press the left heel firmly into the floor. Inhale, look at your left fingertips. Exhale, come onto the outside of the right foot. Walk the left foot in towards your hips. Start to lower the right hip down towards the floor without touching the floor, extending the left arm towards your right toes. Flex in the right foot. Press the left toes firmly into the floor. Inhale, extend the arm overhead. Exhale, lowering the hip down towards the floor. Stay active in your right fingertips so all of the weight isn't in your wrist. Make sure you're not sinking down into the right shoulder. Keep pressing yourself away from the floor, reaching for that right foot. Inhale, extend the left arm. Exhale, swivel the body. Keeping the left foot slightly open, coming into Skandasana on the other side, extending the right arm overhead, this time left hand in line with the left toes, active in the right foot. Inhale deeply, gaze towards those right fingertips. Exhale, bringing the hands through heart center, lowering the right glute down onto the floor. Pivot the left knee so it comes in line with the right, coming onto the top of the left foot. Inhale, bring the arms overhead. Exhale, bring the arms out towards the side, flying yourself down towards the extended knee. A deep inhalation here, keeping those arms extended, using the core to help you lower. Exhale, coming all the way back up, bringing the arms overhead, coming back onto that left toe. Left knee is facing up, bringing yourself up off of the floor. Rebend into that right knee, shifting through goddess pose. Pivot the left foot. Bring the left hand to the inside of the right foot. Right knee is bent. Extend the right arm overhead. Take a deep inhalation, gazing towards those right fingertips. Exhale, come onto the outside of the left foot this time. Stacking the feet on top of one another, coming into side plank. Extend the right arm overhead. Work towards pressing your left big toe firmly into the floor. This will help raise your hips off of the floor. Deep inhalation. Exhale, bring the right hand down. Underneath your shoulders, shift your body so that you're facing the front of the mat, coming into high plank. With control, bending into the elbows, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, gaze forward. Exhale, returning into downward facing dog. Inhale deeply through the nose. And exhale. Inhale, press the right foot firmly into the floor, bringing the left leg overhead, bending into that left knee. Inviting circular movements here. Opening the left hip, making sure the shoulders remain squared. Relaxing any tension in the neck. Inviting whichever movements feel most comfortable and natural to you at this time. This can mean moving into the ankle, crunching your toes up. With the next breath, begin to work the circles in the opposite direction. Allowing the breath to guide your movements. The inhalation, extend the left leg overhead, coming into that three-legged dog. Exhale, bend into the left knee, high up on the right toes. Bring the left knee towards your left tricep. Stay here for the inhalation, puffing up through the back of the heart, shoulders in line with the wrists. As you exhale with control, drop the left foot on the outside of your left hand. Pivot the right toes, coming into Skandasana on the left. Right away, bringing your left hand as an extension of your left foot, right arm overhead, gaze towards your right fingertips. An inhalation here, elongate the spine. Active in the right leg, active in the right toes. Exhale, hands through heart center. With control, begin to straighten through the left leg. Both of the feet are open, facing away from one another, heels in line. Straightening through the legs, pulling the tailbone down, extending the arms away from you in line with the shoulders. Inhale here. Exhale, bending into both knees, bringing the hands towards your waist, coming into goddess pose. Elongate the spine, bring the shoulders in line with the hips, pull the belly in, pull the tailbone down. Bend a little bit deeper into those knees. A deep inhalation through the nose. Exhale, straightening through both legs, extending the arms back away from you, bringing the left foot in, rotating the body so that you're facing the back of the mat. Bring the left hand to the inside of the right foot rather. High up on the left toes, bring the right arm up and overhead, pyramid with the legs, twist in the spine, right arm overhead. Pull the belly in towards the spine, make sure that the hips are squared. Keep pulling the right hip back, left hip forward. Another deep inhalation. As you exhale, begin to swivel onto the outside of your left foot. Bring the right foot in line with your hips. Begin to lower the left hip down towards the floor without touching the floor, extending your right arm towards your left toes. Inhale, elongate the spine, bring the hips completely off of the floor, extending the right arm overhead. Press into that right heel, right big toe presses into the floor. Exhale, lowering back down. Bringing the right hand in the direction of your left foot. Make sure you're not sinking down into that left shoulder. Inhale, extend. Exhale. Inhale, extend, swivel the whole body over, this time coming into Skandasana on the right, extending the right arm away from the right toes, in line with the right toes, left arm up and overhead. Gaze towards your left fingertips. Opening the chest, opening the hips, really active in the left quadriceps here. Keep pressing the left heel down towards the floor, flexing the left toes. Inhale deeply. Exhale, hands through heart center, lowering that left hip down towards the floor with control. Bring the right knee in towards your left, coming onto the top of the right foot. Bring the arms up and overhead. Still active in that left leg. Exhale, bring the hands away from you in line with your shoulders. And then begin to lower yourself down towards the left knee with your chin. So really long in the spine here, using the strength of the core to help you lower down. Relaxing the neck, relaxing the forehead. Inhale, come all the way back up, extending the arms overhead. Exhale, hands through heart center, bringing the right knee up towards the ceiling, towards the sky, bringing yourself back up into Skandasana. Bend into that left knee. Bring the right hand to the inside of the left foot. Swivel the back foot now. High up on the right toes, left knee is bent. Inhale, left arm overhead, gaze towards the left fingertips, lowering the hips slightly down towards the floor. Active in the belly. Inhale deeply. Exhale, coming onto the outside of the right foot, pressing the right big toe into the floor. This might mean you have to bend into that right knee a little bit. Stack the feet on top of one another, and then keeping that right big toe pressing into the floor, begin to work towards straightening the legs. Legs can remain stacked. Extend the left arm overhead. Inhale. Active in the glutes, active in the legs. Keep pressing that right big toe into the floor. This helps to bring the hips higher. As you exhale, bring the left hand down underneath your left shoulder. Pivot yourself so all 10 toes are facing the front of the mat. Coming into plank pose. As you exhale, come through your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose. And exhale. Press the left foot into the floor with the inhalation. Bring the right leg up. Bend into that right knee, opening the hip. Come high up on the left toes. Shift the weight forward. Work the right knee in towards your nose, puffing up through the back of the heart. Stay here for the inhalation. Round through the spine. As you exhale with control, drop the right foot in between your hands. High up on the left toes as you inhale, gaze forward, hips are squared. As you exhale, begin to work the left heel down towards the floor, raising the right toes off of the floor. Forehead lowers down towards the knee. Inhale, gaze forward, shift the weight towards the front of the mat. Left leg extends away from the body. Walk the hands underneath the shoulders. You can use blocks here if you'd like to, if the floor feels far. The hips are squared. Lower the left hip a little bit. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, bend into that left knee. Bring the knee to nose. Inhale, extend the left leg. Gaze forward. Elongate the spine, active in the belly. Exhale, bend into the left knee, this time pressing the left foot up. Keep gazing forward. And then round through the spine, bring the knee to nose. Inhale, extend the left leg away from you, gaze forward. Exhale, bend into the left knee, press the left foot up, flexing through the left toes. This time, open the left hip, start to work the left knee towards the left shoulder. Left toes remain flexed. Make sure your whole body isn't tilting over towards the right. Really strong in the standing leg. Trying to create that contact of the left knee to shoulder. With control, begin to drop the left foot towards the right without touching the floor. So really flexed in the left toes here. Left foot is hovering. Begin to bend into the right knee, coming into a pistol squat. Bring the right hand to the outside of your left foot. So the balance now is on our right foot. You can keep the left hand on the floor for support. I'm going to make sure you're not rounding through the spine. We're trying to elongate the spine. Elongate the back of the left leg, flexing through those left toes. Begin to work the right shoulder a little bit more towards the center. Maybe walk the left hand towards the back. Press the entire right foot firmly into the floor. Activate your mula bandha. Pull the perineum up. Activate all the muscles of the pelvic floor, gazing back behind you. Option to stay here or extend the left arm back behind, releasing any tension in the shoulders. Option to stay here or coming into a bind, bringing the left hand to the inside of your right thigh. Inhale. Exhale with control. Drop the sitting bones down towards the floor. Keep the left leg straightened, coming into a variation of Navasana here. So left toes are pointing now. Work your way a little bit towards the back, but make sure that the shoulders aren't rounding. The spine isn't rounding. We're really opening the chest and heart here. And then slowly begin to raise the right leg. For now, you can just keep the right leg at a 90-degree angle. Keep extending that left leg. Maybe you bring your hands out on the sides. Active in the belly, gaze towards your left toes. Inhale. Exhale, bring the toes to touch. Bring your hands to your feet, opening them like a book with control. Begin to drop your chest down towards your toes. And then taking whichever variation you want here of this butterfly pose, Baddha Konasana. So you can opt for the more rounded spine, the more restorative pose of bringing your forehead or the crown of the head down towards the toes. You can work the hands forward, walking them forward, working the chest down towards the feet. I said to open the feet like a book, so you can use your hands for that. Alternatively, though, if you want to work a little bit more deeply into the hips, what you can do is press the big toes really together. And then you'll notice that as you're pressing and you're creating that tension between the 2 feet pressing into one another, you're able to work more into the hips without using your hands. So you can open the knees further away from one another. Take a deep inhalation through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Inhale with control, coming all the way up. Bringing the knees together, maybe with the help of your hands. Bring your hands behind your thighs with control, rounding through the spine, chin in towards the chest, extending the legs overhead. Coming into legs up the wall. Relax the arms alongside your body. Work to press your lower back into the floor. Pull the navel in towards the spine. Bring the chin slightly in towards the chest, towards the neck. Relax the shoulders down towards the floor. Take an inhalation through the nose. Exhale, press your fingertips into the floor alongside your glutes, and then extend the legs back behind you, coming into Halasana. Watch out here for the neck. Make sure you're not looking around. We're working the weight into our shoulders. You can keep the hands on the floor. Keep walking the feet overhead. If the feet aren't touching the floor, you can bring the hands to your lower back for support. Inhale here. Exhale, bend into the left knee. So the knees are together. The left toes are pointing forward. The right leg is extended. And then using momentum, we're going to go forward, press into that left foot into the floor, returning back into that pistol squat position on the opposite side, straightening through the right leg without touching the floor, extending the right leg overhead, coming into standing splits. Release the forehead down towards the shin. Inhale. Pull the belly towards the spine. And exhale with control. Walk the hands slightly forward in front of the shoulders. Square off the hips. Release the right toes down towards the floor. Bend into the left knee. Inhale, bring the arms overhead, coming into crescent. Exhale, sinking down into that left knee a little bit more. Really high up on the right toes. Keep working the right hip forward. Relax the shoulders, open the chest. Inhale deeply. Exhale, bring the right hand out in front of you, left arm back behind, coming into a twist. Gaze towards the left fingertips. Another inhalation. Exhale, bring the left hand to the back of the right thigh, extending the right arm overhead, coming into an exalted crescent. A deep inhalation. Exhale, straightening through the left leg, swiveling the body so it's facing the right side of the mat. Bring the right hand down onto the floor in the center, in line with your nose, extending the left arm overhead. Deep inhalation here, gaze towards the left fingertips. Exhale, rebend into that left foot, returning back into Skandasana. Opening the arms, extending them away from you. Maybe stay here, or if you'd like to go deeper, creating a bind around your left leg. Another inhalation here, pulling the belly in. Right quadriceps are active. Exhale, if you're in the bind, unwind. Bring the hands together in front of your heart. Without using the hands, rotate yourself towards the front of the mat. And then press the left foot into the floor, coming into warrior 3. Whew. If you fall out of the pose, it's okay, just come back in. We're creating muscle memory. Really active in the right leg. Hands through heart center. If you'd like, extend the arms back behind you, coming into airplane. A deep inhalation. As you exhale with control, pendulum swing the right foot so it comes in line with the left. Raising the hip without lowering the foot on the floor. And then exhale, bring the right foot down with the left. Close the eyes for a moment, reconnect with your breath. Standing in Tadasana. Observe the sensations of your body. Observe your breath. Reconnect with your breath. Inhale deeply through the nose, elongating the spine, pulling the shoulders away from the ears. Exhaling through the mouth, letting everything that doesn't serve you today go. The next inhalation, blink the eyes open, bring the arms overhead, gaze at your fingertips. With your exhalation, bring your hands to your lower back, active in the glutes. Begin to press the hips forward. The head is the last to gaze back, coming into a small assisted back bend here. Really active in the glutes. Press the feet firmly into the floor. Inhale. Exhale with control, bringing yourself down towards the floor, opening the feet as wide as the hips, bringing hands to opposing elbows, micro bending into the knees, releasing the head. Coming into ragdoll for a moment, maybe moving from side to side. And then slowly bringing the hands onto the floor, walking the feet towards the back of the mat, coming right into a downward facing dog. Press the right foot firmly into the floor with the inhalation, bring the left leg up. High up on the right toes, bend into the left knee, shift the weight forward, bring the left knee to nose, rounding through the spine. Take a deep inhalation, puffing up through the back of the heart. As you exhale with control, drop the left foot in between your hands. You can use the block here if you'd like to as you inhale, pyramid pose with the legs gazing forward, active in both legs, hips are squared. As you exhale, shift the weight towards the back of the mat into the right heel, fly the left toes up, lowering the forehead towards the left knee. Inhale. Exhale, coming forward. Again, walking the hands in front of the shoulders. Again, you can use the blocks here if you'd like to. If the floor feels far today, bring the right leg extended away from the body. Inhale deeply. Exhale, bend into the right knee. Bring the right knee to nose, rounding through the spine. Inhaling, extending, gazing forward this time, bending into the right knee, pressing the right foot up, keeping those hips squared, keep gazing up. Exhale, rounding through the spine, knee to nose. Inhale, extending the right leg, gazing forward. Keep gazing forward as you bend into the right knee, press the right foot up, this time opening the right hip, working the right knee towards the right shoulder. Flex into the right foot. A deep inhalation through the nose here. Exhale through the mouth. Begin to extend through the right toes. Extend the right foot out in front of you. Bend into the left knee, coming into a pistol squat. Bring the left hand to the outside of your right foot. So the glutes are off of the floor. We're pressing the left foot firmly into the floor, working towards straightening the spine, really active in the extended leg. Staying here, maybe the hand is on the floor, opening the chest, gazing forward. Maybe you bring the hand through heart center or extend the right arm back behind you. Wherever you are, that's where you are today. There's no pressure in going into the deepest expression. If it's comfortable for you, you can bring your right hand to the inside of your right thigh, coming into a twist. It's better that you do what's seemingly an easier, more simple variation, but you do it correctly, versus doing the most difficult or seemingly most difficult expression and doing it incorrectly. Take another inhalation, elongating the spine. As you exhale, drop the hips down towards the floor. This time bringing the right toes up, pointing into the right toes. Really active in the right leg here. Bring your hands behind your thighs for a moment if you'd like to. Situate yourself on your sitting bones, spine is long, and then maybe bring your left foot out in front of you in a 90-degree angle. And then extend the arms away from you. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale, bending into both knees, bringing this time, not bending into both knees, but extending the legs away from one another, coming into a wide-legged straddle, seated straddle. So toes are flexed, hands come to your waist for a moment. You can pull the sitting bones away from the floor, working more of the pelvic floor down towards the floor, towards the mat. Bring the arms overhead. And then as you exhale, bring the hands back behind you. So this is going to be a good indicator for us to know whether or not our spine is rounding. What tends to happen generally is that we begin to walk the hands forward. We're rounding through the spine and we're really working more from the spine versus from the hips. So by keeping the hands back behind us on our fingertips, we're able to keep and maintain that straight spine as we begin to work the chin down towards the floor. And then you're also working your belly because you don't have the support of the hands. Make sure that the legs are active. The quadriceps are active in order to protect the muscles of the inner thighs. Flexing into those toes. And then staying here, or if you feel that you know you're not going to round into the spine, but you're going to work on keeping that extended spine, you can walk the hands forward. And then begin to lower the forehead down towards the floor. Continue to walk the hands forward. Connect with your breath. Pull the belly in towards the spine. This helps to ensure that we're bending from the hips. With control, walk the hands towards the center, towards you. If your hands are back behind you, bring them towards the front. Then bring your hands to the outside of your thighs. Begin to bend into the knees. With control, bring the legs together and bring yourself down onto the mat, extending the legs overhead, returning into that legs up the wall. Hands alongside your body. Inhale through the nose, press the entirety of the spine into the floor. Pull the navel towards the spine. Bring the chin in towards the chest. Press the shoulders, the back of the shoulders into the mat. Another deep inhalation through the nose. As you exhale, press the fingertips into the floor. Begin to work the feet overhead, coming into Halasana. Whatever your variation is, if you can interlace the hands, you can go for that as well. That's an option. Just make sure that you're working the tailbone slightly up. The spine is straight. The weight is in the shoulders. Make sure you're not moving the neck. Take another inhalation here wherever you are. If the legs are floating, that's totally fine. Stay active in the quads and the glutes to protect the lower back. As you exhale, bring both of the knees to touch. Bend into the right knee. Flex the right foot. Flex into the left foot. Bring the hands down towards the mat using a bit of momentum. Roll yourself forward. Press that right foot into the floor. Stay straight in the left leg, extending the left leg overhead, coming into that standing splits on the opposite side. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Inhale, walking the hands in front of the shoulders, squaring off the hips. Bend into that right knee. Find the floor with your right toes back behind you, with your left toes back behind you, rather. Left heel is up. As you inhale, bring the arms overhead, coming into crescent. Elongate the spine, bend a bit deeper into that right knee. Pull the shoulders in line with the hips. As you exhale, bring the left hand out in front, right hand back behind. Gaze towards your right fingertips. Re-bend into that right knee. Bring the right hand to the back of the left thigh. Extend the left arm overhead, coming into exalted crescent lunge. A deep inhalation through the nose. Exhale, coming all the way back up, swiveling yourself towards the right this time, coming into Skandasana on the right. Maybe you interlace the arms back behind, coming into a bind. Gaze back behind you. Inhale deeply. Exhale, unwinding from the pose, bring the hands through heart center, press the thumbs into your sternum, rotate towards the front of the mat, press the right foot firmly into the floor, flying the left leg up, coming into warrior three. Inhale deeply, keep your hands by your heart or maybe extend them back behind you into airplane. Exhale, pendulum swing the left foot towards the right without touching the floor just yet. Elongate the spine. Exhale, bringing the left foot down in line with the right, closing the eyes. Reconnecting with the breath. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Inhale, gently blink the eyes open, extend the arms overhead, gaze at your fingertips. As you exhale, bring the hands to the glutes, the tops of the glutes, and begin to gently press the hips forward, pulling the glutes in towards one another, coming into a small supported back bend. Slowly coming all the way back up, using your breath. Flying yourself down towards your feet, bringing the hands to opposing elbows, releasing the belly on top of the thighs, bending into the knees as much as you need to. A deep inhalation. And exhale. Inhale, bring the hands out in front of you, walk the feet so the toes are hanging off of the mat, heels in line with one another. As you walk the fingertips forward, begin to bend into the knees, pulling the hips back, coming into this variation of Malasana while extending the spine, walking the hands forward, dropping the head. Legs are at 90 degrees. Slowly begin to drop the hips in between the heels, raising your hands towards the heart center, bringing your elbows to the inside of your thighs, elongating the spine. Make sure you're not really rounding forward. The spine is long. The chin is slightly in towards the chest. The belly is active. Keep pulling the sitting bones down. Inhale through the nose, elongating the spine. Exhale with control, bringing the sitting bones down onto the floor. Rocking yourself all the way onto your back, bringing your hands to your knees, pulling the knees in towards your chest. Bring each hand to each knee. And then with the help of your hands, begin to open the legs away from one another. And then pull the knees into one another as you extend the arms. So we're creating these circular movements, each knee working in its own circle. And then they're joining through the center as you pull the knees in towards your belly. Use your breath as you move. And then begin to work in the opposite direction, still creating those circular movements. Maybe you start to incorporate a little bit of ankle and toe movement as well. And then bring your knees back through center, flex the feet up, bring hands to the outside of your feet, coming into happy baby. Stay bent in the knees, pulling them in towards your armpits. Make sure that the chin is in towards the chest. We don't want to be hyperextending the neck. And then begin to pull the knees in. Keep flexing through the heels, pressing the heels up. Toes are looking down towards you. Maybe you begin to straighten into one leg at a time. Slowly and with control, bringing your feet together, bringing the knees together. Interlace the arms over your legs, bring the chin in towards your knees, rounding through the spine. As you inhale, breathe into the belly, press the belly onto the top of the thighs. As you exhale, close your eyes. Begin to extend the legs away from you. releasing the arms alongside your body, taking up as much space as you need to. I invite you to stay in Shavasana as long as you can, giving yourself that final gift of rest, of gratitude, of appreciation for what the body, the mind, the breath are allowing you to practice today. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, and I will see you next time. Namaste.